Riverside and San Marco get dumped in the exact same bucket, best of Jacksonville, like they're interchangeable. They're not. One is a loud, walkable block party, the other is a quiet Mediterranean dinner party. In this video, we're cutting through the real estate listings so you know which historic core fits your everyday life before you start house hunting. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how these two historic cores feel to live in day to day, not just what real estate listings say about them, so you can tell your real estate agent, get me in Riverside or get me in San Marco with confidence, instead of just picking which one showed up on your Google search first. I've walked these neighborhoods more times than I can count, talked to people who live in each, and watch how they actually function day to day, not just how they photograph. Here's the fastest way to tell these two apart. Riverside is a party and San Marco is a dinner party. Riverside, especially around the 5 Points area, is loud in the best way. Historic homes packed close together in a walkable grid, Memorial Park just a few blocks over, the Riverside Arts Market humming every Saturday, rain or shine, and a strip of bars, coffee shops, and boutique shops you can hit in one walkable Saturday afternoon. It feels like a neighborhood that wants you outside, mingling, and running into people that you know. San Marco is a different register altogether. The heart of San Marco, an actual Mediterranean revival plaza with that lion statue everybody photographs, ringed by restaurants and shops. It's polished, a little quieter than bar hop till midnight. If Riverside is your college friend that's always got plans, San Marco is the friend that invites you over to a properly set table. Your ideal Saturday is a farmer's market, a coffee shop where you know the baristas, and ending up somewhere energetic with friends. That's Riverside energy. If your ideal Saturday is a slow brunch, a walk past architecture that belongs in Italy, and being in bed by 10, that's San Marco. If you're trying to figure out which of these pockets fits your budget, drop your ideal price point in the comments. I reply to every single one to help you narrow it down. This is where urban planning difference matters. Riverside's layout is a true historic grid, dense, walkable blocks stacked on top of each other, which is why it feels so alive. You've got craftsman bungalows next to Prairie and Queen Anne style homes, next to the occasional Tudor revival, all mixed together because the neighborhood grew organically over time. That density is exactly what makes it easy to walk to 5 different coffee shops without getting in your car. San Marco is built around a single deliberate center, the square itself, with residential streets radiating out from it. That's the Mediterranean revival influence. It was designed to have a heart, a plaza you walk to and gather in, rather than a grid that you wander through. The homes around it lean more Mediterranean revival and eclectic Spanish style, with some of that same early 20th century character. Here's the honest walkability distinction if you're planning on having car-free days. Riverside's walkability is broader. It's got a walk score of around 71 across the neighborhood, which is genuinely what makes it the most walkable stretch in Jacksonville. You can live several blocks off the main drag and still walk to daily errands. San Marco's walkability is far more concentrated. Right at the square, it scores even higher, up near 88%. But that number drops off fast the further out you go. The closer you are to the square, the more you can walk. Get a few blocks out and you're back in the car for your daily life. Let's get specific, because which one is better is the wrong question. It's which one fits your life. Riverside tends to bring in younger professionals, creatives, those looking to buy a house with character on a budget, and anyone who wants a social scene built into their neighborhood. If you work from home and want a coffee shop that isn't your kitchen table, or you want to meet your neighbors at a bar in walking distance, Riverside is doing that for you on purpose. San Marco tends to skew more towards people who already have some stability. Established professional, downsizers, and families who want that South Bank proximity without giving up character. It's also genuinely positioned if your job takes you downtown or to the South Bank. We're talking a 5 to 10 minute drive over the Main Street Bridge or the Acosta Bridge. No highway required. And don't sleep on price positioning here. San Marco carries a real premium over Riverside for single family homes. We're looking at a median list price around $494 in San Marco right now versus $415 in Riverside. That's an $80,000 gap, and it tracks with everything else we've already talked about. You're paying for that square proximity and Mediterranean revival architecture. That gap matters if your budget is a real constraint for the move. If you're planning to move to Jacksonville in 2026 and want to map out these exact walkable streets before you start touring, hit subscribe so you don't miss out on my deep dive on Avondale next week. Now, the part that nobody puts in a glossy relocation video. Riverside's density is a double-edged sword. That same closeness that makes it walkable also means less privacy, smaller lots, and yes, more noise, especially if you're near 5 Points on a weekend night. If you want quiet after dark, that's not what you're signing up for. San Marco's trade-off is the opposite problem. Once you're outside of that tight walkable ring around the square, you're driving just like anywhere else in Jacksonville. Don't buy a house 2 miles from the square assuming you'll get that same walkable lifestyle that you saw in the promo photos. You won't. And both neighborhoods have gotten more competitive. Riverside homes sit about 57 days average on market, with San Marco being only marginally faster. Now you'll see Riverside is having more homes listed, 54 versus San Marco's 18. But don't read that as San Marco being scarce versus Riverside being flush. Riverside is the bigger neighborhood. Scale it to size and they're close. About 2% of the homes in Riverside are on the market versus 1.8% in San Marco. Neither one's sitting on a glut. San Marco just has a smaller pond to fish in. Riverside if you want energy, walkability on a budget, and a built-in social scene. San Marco if you want polish, a shorter commute across the river, and you don't mind paying more for it. Drop a comment telling me which one you're leaning towards. If you want the next video to break down Avondale, which sits right next to Riverside with completely different feel, subscribe so you don't miss out.